My fiance looked me in the eyes and said, "He proposed 3 days ago, and I said yes, while still wearing my engagement ring. I stood up and demanded she take it off immediately. The audacity of wearing my ring while telling me she's engaged to another man was beyond comprehension." I'm Noah, 31, a union electrician in Columbus. Been with Kayla for 4 years, engaged since February. I'd worked overtime for months to afford that ring. Nothing fancy, but decent. She wanted a church wedding next fall, and honestly, I was excited about it. We shared a duplex near German Village, talked about kids, had our whole future mapped out. Last Tuesday changed everything. I was watching the game after a brutal day on a commercial job when Kayla came home acting nervous. She sat on the couch edge, hands folded, wouldn't look at me. "I ran into Hunter a few weeks ago," she started. Hunter, her high school boyfriend. My stomach dropped. "We've been talking since March," she continued, picking at her fingernails. "Just catching up at first, coffee, lunch, old friends reconnecting." The cold dread was spreading through my chest. "He proposed 3 days ago, and I said yes." For a moment, I thought I'd misheard. She still wore my ring while telling me she was engaged to someone else. The cognitive dissonance was staggering. "It just happened, Noah. We have so much history. It felt like fate, like we were meant to find each other again." She looked up with tears in her eyes, but also this excited expression, like she expected me to be happy for her. That's when my analytical mind kicked in. As an electrician, you learn to diagnose problems systematically. This wasn't emotional chaos. This was a puzzle with a clear solution. I looked at her hands. "Take off my ring, right now." "What?" she stammered. "You don't get to wear my ring while you're engaged to someone else." I stood up, and she actually leaned back like I might hit her. The fact that she'd think that of me after 4 years told me everything about how little she actually knew me. "Noah, wait, let me explain." "Explain what? You've been cheating on me for months, and now you're engaged to him. What's left to explain?" "I wasn't cheating. We were just talking until..." "Until when? Until he put a ring on your finger?" My voice was getting louder, but my mind was getting clearer. "Jesus Christ, Kayla, the ring. Take it off." Her hands shook as she twisted it off and held it out to me. 4 months of overtime shifts to pay for that thing. I took it, feeling its weight, both physical and symbolic. "I need you to pack a bag and leave tonight," I said, my voice steady now. "Give me an hour to go for a drive, and when I come back, I want you gone." "Noah, please. Can't we just talk about this?" "Talk about what? You made your choice. Go be with your destiny or whatever this is." I walked out, drove around for 2 hours, and came back to an empty apartment. She'd taken her essentials and left the key on the kitchen counter. That's when the real analysis began. The timeline was crucial. We got engaged in February. She started talking to Hunter in March. 1 month after accepting my proposal, she was already reconnecting with her ex. The pattern was clear. She'd checked out of our relationship the moment she had my commitment secured. Her family's reaction confirmed my assessment. Her mom texted saying I should be happy for Kayla's destiny and that true love finds a way. Her dad called me immature for not understanding the power of first love. They were treating me like the villain for not wanting to share my fiance with her high school sweetheart. I've been staying at my sister Mia's place, using the time to think strategically. Mia's a paralegal, sharp, logical, sees through bullshit immediately. She thinks I did exactly the right thing, but more importantly, she's helping me understand the legal and financial implications of everything that happened. Here's what I've learned about my position. I'm actually in a much stronger place than I initially realized. First, the ring. Legally, it's mine. The engagement was broken by her infidelity, so I have no obligation to return it. The jeweler confirmed they can't give full price, but I can get enough back to upgrade some tools I've been wanting. Second, our lease situation. The duplex lease is in my name only. She never wanted the responsibility of being on official documents. I can stay or leave as I choose. All utilities are in my name. She has no legal claim to anything in that apartment. Third, my professional position is solid. Union electricians are in high demand, especially experienced ones like me. I've got my master electrician's license, specialized certifications in industrial systems, and a reputation for quality work. I've been pulling down $85,000 a year base, plus overtime that pushes me over six figures during busy seasons. I've got excellent credit, $38,000 in savings, and a retirement account that's been growing steadily. Most importantly, I've got something Kayla and Hunter apparently don't have: financial stability. According to mutual friends, Hunter's construction business has been struggling. That explains a lot about what happened next. 3 weeks after she left, things got bizarre. Kayla's engagement photos hit Facebook, professional photographer, matching outfits, the whole production. Her mom shared them with captions about true love conquering all and God's plan revealing itself. I only saw them because Mia showed me. I'd already blocked Kayla everywhere. Then came the text from a number I didn't recognize. It was Kayla using someone else's phone. She was asking if I could help with a few thousand to secure their wedding venue. Apparently, Hunter was having cash flow issues with his construction business, and they were about to lose their deposit on some fancy place. But it got better. She also asked if I could put my name on a rental agreement for their lighting setup, because I could get a union discount through the IBEW. She wanted me to use my professional connections and credit rating to help finance the wedding to replace me. The absolute audacity was breathtaking. I screenshot the messages and sent them to Mia before responding. She confirmed this was as insane as I thought. I texted back, "No, find another way. You have a fiance and family supporting this destiny. Figure it out." Then blocked that number too. But she didn't stop. Different numbers, same requests. Sometimes about the venue deposit, sometimes catering, once about vendor contracts because Hunter's credit wasn't great. Always framed like I should be grateful for the opportunity to be involved in her new life. At some point, I lost track of how many numbers I'd blocked. Mia suggested I send one final message making it crystal clear this needed to stop. We drafted something professional but firm. "I will not be providing financial assistance or professional services for your wedding. Do not contact me again through any method or I will take legal action." The thing that really got me was how she positioned this, like I was being unreasonable for not wanting to help plan and pay for the wedding that ended our relationship. Her family's messages all had the same tone, like I was being petty for not embracing this beautiful development in her life. I started keeping records of all contact attempts. Mia said if this escalated, I might need them. Screenshots, dates, times, phone numbers used. Building a harassment case just in case. Meanwhile, I was rebuilding my life systematically. Picked up every overtime shift available. There's something therapeutic about electrical work. Everything has a purpose. Everything connects logically. No room for the kind of emotional chaos I'd been dealing with. I also started volunteering with Habitat for Humanity on weekends. Mia suggested it, said I needed something positive to focus on. It's been good getting back to basics, helping families who really need it. Plus, working with my hands in a different context has been therapeutic. One of the regular volunteers caught my attention, Harper, who coordinates the program. She mentioned they always need people with electrical skills. She's a project manager for a nonprofit housing development company, mid-30s, divorced, no kids. Smart, grounded, has her own life figured out. We started grabbing coffee after build days, nothing rushed, just getting to know each other. Harper knew about my situation but didn't make it weird or try to fix me. Refreshing as hell after the emotional tornado I'd been through. She's the kind of person who offers solutions instead of drama, who builds things instead of tearing them down. 6 months passed without contact from Kayla or her family. I'd moved back into my apartment, gotten promoted to a lead position on a big hospital renovation project, and was actually starting to feel like myself again. Should have known it was too good to last. My buddy Jake texted asking if I'd heard about Kayla and Hunter. I hadn't, still had them blocked everywhere. Turns out Prince Charming wasn't so charming after all. Hunter had been cheating with multiple women over the past few months. Kayla found out when one of them contacted her directly with receipts, photos, hotel receipts, the works. When she confronted him, things got ugly fast, neighbors calling the police ugly. She ended up with a bruise on her arm and a police report. The engagement was off, and she'd moved back in with her parents. The whole destiny narrative her family had been pushing collapsed overnight. Part of me felt vindicated. The guy who was supposedly her true love turned out to be exactly what you'd expect from someone who convinces an engaged woman to leave her fiance. But mostly I just felt sad for her. Nobody deserves to get hit, no matter how stupidly they've been acting. 2 weeks later, my voicemail started filling up again. Kayla using different numbers, leaving long, rambling messages. First came apologies, sorry for how things ended, sorry for the wedding requests, sorry for everything. Then explanations about what happened with Hunter, like I needed the details. Then they got weird. She started talking about how she'd realized what she'd lost when she left me. How Hunter made her see how stable and genuine I was by contrast. How she'd been blinded by nostalgia and now understood what real love looked like. Classic grass is greener syndrome, but in reverse. The messages kept coming, sometimes 2 or 3 a day, always when I was at work, like she was timing them for when she knew I wouldn't answer. She'd cycle from apologetic to angry to desperate, sometimes within the same voicemail. One message stood out. She said she'd been talking to her therapist about relationship patterns and realized she'd made a mistake. She wanted to explore the possibility of reconciliation, like we were negotiating a business deal instead of talking about the 4 years she'd thrown away for a guy who cheated and turned violent. I didn't respond to any of it. Mia and Harper both said I was doing the right thing by staying quiet. But Kayla wasn't done. Last Saturday morning, I was having coffee with Harper on my apartment balcony when there was a knock at the door. Neither of us was expecting anyone. I opened it to find Kayla looking like she'd been crying, thinner than I remembered, dark circles under her eyes. Before I could say anything, she launched into a speech about how sorry she was, how she'd made the biggest mistake of her life, how she wanted to work through this together. Harper came up behind me, didn't say anything, just stood there. Kayla's eyes went to her, then back to me, and I could see reality hitting her, that I'd moved on. I kept it short. Kayla, I'm glad you're safe, and I hope you're getting help dealing with what Hunter did to you, but we're done. That ended the night you told me you were engaged to someone else. She started crying, asking if we could just talk for a few minutes. I almost felt bad for her, but the woman at my door wasn't the same person I'd lived with for 2 years. Or maybe she was, and I'd just never seen this side of her before. I can forgive you for my own peace of mind, I told her. But that doesn't mean I'm taking you back. Please leave. She looked at Harper again, then back at me. Are you serious right now? You're going to throw away everything we built for someone you barely know. That's when it clicked. She didn't miss me or our relationship. She missed having me as a backup plan. When her upgrade fell through, she wanted to return to the stable guy who'd take care of her, work overtime to pay for her dreams, and never cheat or hit her. I'm not throwing anything away, I said. You already did that. You made your choice. You chose what you thought would make you happier, and it didn't work out. That's not my problem to solve. I closed the door. She knocked a few more times, tried calling my name through the door, but eventually left. Haven't heard from her since. Harper and I talked for a long time after that. She was incredible about the whole thing. Didn't make it about her, didn't ask a bunch of questions, just listened when I needed to process what had happened. That's when I knew I'd found something real. We've been taking things slow, but she's become really important to me. She's got her own life, her own career, doesn't need me to complete her or fix her or fund her dreams. She just wants to build something good together. We're talking about getting a bigger place next year, maybe with a little yard where I can try my hand at gardening. Kayla's family hasn't contacted me since everything fell apart with Hunter. No more texts about destiny or true love. Funny how that works. According to Mia, word got around about Kayla's final visit, and apparently her whole social circle turned pretty cold after everything came out. People don't like being made to look foolish, especially when they had defended her true love story publicly. Her family went quiet on social media after months of posting about destiny and God's plan. Kayla ended up moving to Cincinnati for a fresh start, new job, new apartment, new everything. Sometimes that's what it takes when you've burned through all your credibility in one place. I'm in a better place now than I ever was before. Work's going great. Got selected to lead the electrical team on a new apartment complex project. The apprentices I'm training are good kids, reminds me why I love this trade. Harper and I found a great 2-bedroom place with a balcony where I've been growing tomatoes and peppers. Turns out I'm decent at it. Looking back, the best thing that could have happened was having someone show me exactly why I deserve better. Kayla didn't realize what we had was special. She realized her upgrade didn't work out and wanted to return to her backup plan. I learned I deserve someone who chooses me first, not someone who settles for me after their first choice fails. Sometimes broken engagements are just life saving you from a bigger mistake down the road.